Hello, Nishita. Welcome, my lovely warriors. How are you guys? Vanakkam, Sat Shri Akal, Namaskar, Marhaba, Ola. Welcome, Namaskar, guys, and welcome to the amazing session. And this session is all about your KVPY SA, SX, SB mock test. And in today's mock test, we are going to do some really cool questions. And please let me know how was your board exam, because I want to know how was your board exam. Hi Sri Hari Ravindran. Today was your physics board exam, and I know many questions have come from whatever sessions you have attended over here on V Enlite, the marathon session especially. So I heard that the paper had certain difficult questions, but overall it was okay-ish. And I think Ritesh is also agreeing with me. So, Vanakkam guys, let's begin with the KVPY session. And for those of you who do not know me, well, my name is Shreyas. I'm the physics master teacher at Vedantu. My paper doesn't go well, and I did a lot of hard work, but still it didn't happen. So, Ankit, I understand what you're going through, especially when you work 12 hours per day. So, try and understand why you were not able to solve it. See what went wrong. Something would have triggered that less marks, or something would have created that problem. Either that you were overconfident, or either you thought, oh, I know this, or the practice was lacking. You know it. So try to analyze what went wrong. Yeah, I know, Ritesh, not many derivations came, but one derivation per set at least has come. Some papers maybe even two. Paresh says very well. Anisha, hello. Welcome guys. So let's begin with the class. So before we begin, I hope you know that you need to go ahead and smash the like button. And remember, in the description box, you get all the amazing courses if you want to get yourself enrolled into Vedantu, including the KVPY SA and SX mock tests are also there. There are almost 20 mock tests and also lots of questions which you want to solve for the last 2 days. So take the help of the KVPY test as well, and do not forget to join the Telegram group, which is there in the link provided in the description box. So let's begin with me, Shreyas, your physics master teacher, and thank you for liking, thank you for joining the Telegram channels as well. Ready guys? Hi Nadesh, Nandanesh, Siva Prasad. Wow, what a nice name. Hello Arun. Set one was fine only. Good evening everyone. Hi Rucha. Hi Inya Lakshmi. I can see a lot of students also from the last few marathon sessions out here. Good to see you guys. Physics paper was easy, says Arun. Hi Rucha. Let's begin with the KVPY mock test. Coming up on your screen now. Amazing questions. Be ready with your pen and paper and your minds open. And here is the first question on your screen. A ballet dancer dancing on a smooth floor is spinning about a vertical axis with her arms folded, and her angular speed is 20 radians per second. When she stretches her arms fully, then the spinning speed has reduced by 10 radians per second. If K is the initial rotational energy, then what is the new rotational energy? That is the question. Let's try to do this. What is the symmetric ray of prisms? The symmetric ray, that's minimum deviation lolkane. All right, so let's start solving this question. Okay, now do you realize what is this question based on? Because when she stretches and when she takes her hands in, this concept and this example is always there in angular momentum conservation, because there is no torque, hence her angular momentum is conserved. So this is based on L conservation. So angular momentum is definitely conserved, and angular momentum is moment of inertia into angular velocity. Initially, okay, so where is it? Her dancing on a smooth floor, vertical axis, arms folded. Okay, so now I do not know what is her initial moment of inertia, so I'll just put it as I1. Initial angular velocity is 20. Final moment of inertia is I2. Her speed decreases by 10. So initially if it was 20, so it will become 20 minus 10. It has decreased by 10 radians per second. So therefore, what I will get is I1 by I2. 20 minus 10 is 10. So bring I2 below. It is just going to be nothing but 10. Bring this 20 down. So it is just going to be 1 by 2. Now, Okay, a lot of you are saying K by 4. I do not know. I doubt if it is K by 4. Let's figure this out. Hi Ankit Jainyar. Anisha saying D. Interesting. Let's see how many of you are correct about this. Now to find out the rotational kinetic energy, here is the logic that I will use. See guys, kinetic energy of rotation is half I omega square. Correct? Half I omega square. So just use this formula, divide it. So final kinetic energy by initial kinetic energy will be I2 by I1 into omega 2 by omega 1 whole square. So what is I2 and what is I1? I2 by I1 is nothing but 2 by 1. Do you see that? I1 by I2 is 1 by 2. So I2 by I1 is 2 divided by 1 into omega 2 by omega 1. Final angular velocity was 10 because it reduced by 10 from 20, and initial angular velocity was 20, the whole square. So this should become 2 divided by 4, which is nothing but half. So this is final by initial. So final shall be K divided by 2, which is option A, of course, not B, not C, not D. That's the answer. You can see that. So this is a tricky question. A lot of students get confused. A lot of students make some silly mistakes. Most likely you would have made a mistake here. You would have just thought about omega. You would have forgotten about moment of inertia. Do not forget that the angular velocity has changed because the moment of inertia has changed. That's number one. Number two, do not forget that energy will not be conserved in such situations, although angular momentum is conserved. Many students think that if angular momentum is conserved, then kinetic energy should also be conserved. But that is not the case, because energy can be more or less depending on the work done by that system. So she is doing some work in stretching her arms, etc. So because of which the kinetic energy will not be conserved. Is that clear, my warriors? Can we go ahead? Everybody with me on this? Everybody with me on this? Give me a thumbs up. And I hope you guys have already smashed the like button. And those of you who joined in late, you have missed question number 1. Moving on to the next one. And here it is. This is for both Mahindra. All right. A stone weighs this much kg in air, this much kg in water. So what is the percentage error in the measurement of specific gravity? In the measurement of specific gravity. So specific gravity, let's say I call it as S, for example. What is S? It's the relative density in a way. So it is nothing but the density of that solid upon the density of water. Density of liquid upon density of water. Everybody agrees with this? Everybody with me on this? Okay. Now density of solid by density of water, what can I do? Think about it. Density of the solid will be directly proportional. Can I write it in terms of some weight? Can I write it in terms of something else? Think about it. Can I write it in terms of some other variable? Because I do not know the densities, I know the weights. So if you think logically, the weight of that object, will be equal to volume into density of that solid into G, and the buoyant force will be volume submerged into density of that water into G. So if I divide both of them, I can see many things get cancelled. So this ratio will be, because VG gets cancelled, is W by FB. So this is weight divided by the buoyant force. Weight is mass into G, mass is density into volume. Weight is density into volume for the solid block. Buoyant force will be the density of the liquid or the water into the volume submerged. It's completely submerged. Keep this in mind. Yes, density can be also written down as mass by volume. You can do that. It's the same thing which I have used, but I have also calculated the weight because weight is given over here. Now the next thing is W by FB can be written down as W by buoyant force. What is buoyant force? Think about it. The apparent weight is actual weight minus the buoyant force. Therefore, the buoyant force, therefore the buoyant force should be the actual weight minus the apparent weight. Hence, I'll put it over here as W minus the apparent weight. Now comes the real magic. I know the apparent weight, I know the actual weight, start substituting everything. The actual weight is basically this one, which is 10 plus or minus 0.1, okay, divided by this minus this, so it will be this number minus this number. So it will be nothing but 10 plus or minus 0.1, the whole thing minus this number, which is nothing but 5 plus or minus 0.1. Now you might be wondering how to solve such an equation. Solve it step by step. First take this and subtract the two and see what happens. So it will be 10 plus or minus 0.1, guys. And remember, when you have two terms and when you subtract them, what happens to the error, what happens to those numbers inside? Just take these two numbers, subtract that. 10 minus 5 is 5, but the error, do not subtract that, add them. That's the catch. A lot of students make a mistake over here. Whenever you subtract, the actual errors never get subtracted, it always gets added. So it will be 0.1 plus 0.1, which is just 0.2. So this is your specific gravity. But if you look at the options over here, it's nowhere close. It's like percentages. Now this is division formula, if you realize. So guys, coming back to the formula, remember, if you have some physical quantity, which is, let's say, x raised to alpha upon y raised to beta, then del P by P will be alpha into del x by x and plus beta into del y by y. This is your law of errors when you multiply, divide, or if you have some powers. Okay, so P is x raised to alpha upon y raised to beta. So that power becomes the coefficient of the relative error. Again, the power becomes the coefficient or multiplication factor of the relative error, and add those terms. That gives you the total relative error. This is the concept which I am going to use. So over here, what I shall write is, let me put it over here. So del S by S will be equal to error in the numerator. Oh, by the way, the power is 1, if you notice. The power of numerator and denominator is 1. So alpha and beta both are 1. So just write it as 1 multiplied by, this is the error upon the most probable reading, which is 10, plus 1 into, because the power in the denominator is also 1, this will be 0.2 divided by this number over here, which is 5. Now, if you notice, this is nothing but, I can write it as 0.1 by 10 plus I can write it as 0.4 by 10, which is going to make it 0.5 by 10. This is delta S by S, but delta S by S percentage will be 0.5 divided by 10 into 100. So this will make it 5%, which is there over here, option A. Yes, Manika Naranjan, very good, Shreya, excellent, Shubham. Wow, you guys are answering before me. I'm very happy about it. If you are answering before me, even after few steps, I'm very happy. That means you have understood and taken my lead, and using my hints and the initial method, you have, carried forward the problem. Excellent. Proud of you guys. Very good, Anisha too. All right. Shall we proceed to the next one? So before that, what are the different concepts used? Number one, the concept of relative density or specific gravity. First concept. Second concept, the concept of weight, mass, density, volume. So weight is mass into G, buoyant force is volume submerged density into G. Then the next concept was the concept of errors. So division, multiplication of errors, addition, subtraction of errors, and rest all is maths. So some 4 to 5 concepts in one single question. These are the level of questions you can expect in the KVPY exam. Moving on to the next one. Very good. I'm so happy, guys. Devi Nandana, so happy for you. Today's exam was easy. So good. I'm not sure about it, Shubham. All right. Now this is another question on projectile motion. The trajectories are shown in the figure for 3 different footballs which are kicked. Ignoring the effect of air resistance, of course, if T1, T2, T3 represent the time of flights T1, T2 and T3 ranges are given. What do you think is the ratio or the relation between the times of flight? Wow, very good. Shri Krishna, I think around 2 or 3 questions only. Don't worry, Shri Krishna, you can replay it back later on. Okay, Sushruta, Amog saying option D. Is that so? Okay. So think about it, what has happened. Somebody is saying, Saurabh, what is happening over here is basically these are the 3 different footballs. They have different ranges. The question is, according to this graph, what is the relation between the time of flights? That's all. So figure out the relation between time of flights. Now, if you notice in this particular situation, the height is same for all of them. Yes or no? Check it out. Height is same. Don't worry about the ranges. Many students first think, oh, I need to do something with the range. But first of all, focus should be on the height. The height is same. So let's write it down. The height is same. And if you remember the height formula, what was the height formula? Try and recollect. It was u square sine square theta by 2g. Now g is same, 2 is a number. That means this is going to be same because all their heights are same. Now if this is same, naturally u sine theta for all the footballs which are kicked will be same. Now try and recollect a little bit. Time of flight is 2u sine theta divided by g, and I just told you over here that u sine theta is same. That means the time should be same, and that is the case only with option D. All the time of flight should be the same. So you should understand that what should be given preference. A lot of students will look for range, but in range probably you will not understand much over here. Okay. So if your mock test marks are 70 to 75, that is a very good marks, Shubham. I mean, it's really good. I'm so glad, Amog. Oh, by the way, thank you, Amog, for reminding me. Those of you who are new or probably joining the session, now, or maybe you are new subscribers to the channel. Remember, guys, on our channel itself, so I can just take you to our channel. There is one KVPY playlist. I'm not sure whether you have seen it or not. So let me just go over here. See, you just go to the playlist tab. You go down over here, and in the playlist tab, you will see KVPY SA SB. So there is preparation playlist. You will see KVPY Physics Preparation. You can see this is a very important playlist. Click on View All. Revise 12th formulas, revise 11th formulas, and previous year's mock tests and the ones which are conducted few months back, and some important topics are also there over here in this playlist. That's very useful for all of you. Yes, I made it by comparing all the chapters. And there is an ultimate formula revision series also for JEE and NEET, so you can watch that as well. Okay, thank you, Amok, for reminding me. So all the viewers should be benefited out of it. Okay, all the answers are same. Let's move on to the next one. There is a person speaking like a point source. Interesting. And he produces sound of 40 decibels. Remember, that is the unit of loudness at some distance of 1 meter. The threshold intensity for some reasonable audibility is 20 decibel. The meaning of this statement is threshold intensity. So that is the minimum loudness that should be there so that you can hear clearly. Below 20, you will not be able to hear. Above 20 only you can hear. So the maximum distance with which he can clearly speak is how much? Let's try and first of all visualize this. Let's just imagine Pandu is talking, shouting, whatever. Okay, he's shouting. Okay. And at some distance, and that distance is basically 1 meter. At 1 meter, the loudness is 40 decibel. Now tell me, in order to get reasonable audibility, 20 decibels, so will you go farther from Pandu or will you go closer? Think about it. At 1 meter, you are getting 40 decibels. So the maximum distance, that I think that's what is given, the maximum distance. So I think you will go a little bit farther, so the loudness will reduce, and beyond that point the loudness will go below your audibility levels. So I do not know what that distance is. Let's say I call it R2, and this is basically 20 decibels. Beyond this you cannot hear. Only till here you can listen clearly. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, so iFlix, please leave your comment after the session is over. Let's concentrate on the session. Okay, I think you should not, Samita, you cannot attempt all the 4 subjects. No, you can't. Okay, okay, so let's move on. Either you have to choose bio or you have to choose maths, one of them. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll first talk about loudness. Loudness in general is 10 log. Oops, I think I should put it like this. It is 10 times log of I by I naught. So if I write L2 minus L1, because I know 2 loudness and I know one thing about logarithms, log A minus log B. Log A minus log B is log A by B. Hence, I can use this concept in this problem because I know logarithms comes in intensity. Iris, like I said, you can leave your comment after the session. I will answer it, not in between the session right now. You're focusing on this problem. So this will be 10 log, and that shall be I do not know, so I'll put it as I2 by I naught minus 10 log of I1 by I naught. So L2 is 40, L1 is 20, is equal to 10 times log of this minus this will turn out to be I2 by I1. Does everybody get this concept? Log of I2 by I naught and log of I1 by I naught. Log A minus log B. What will happen? This by this. I naught cancels. So it will be only I2 by I1. No problem, Irex. I'll reply to you. Okay. So this will be nothing but 20 is equal to 10 log I2 by I1. 0, 0 goes. So therefore, I2 by I1 will be nothing but 10 to the power 2. Now, why did I do this? Reason. I know intensity is dependent on how far you are, and intensity also decides loudness. We have to figure out what is the distance. We cannot directly find the relation between loudness and distance. So I notice that intensity is that in-between term which is related to both of them, loudness as well as the distance. I just saw that intensity is in this ratio, and now Anmod, I have already done the formula revision session. Just 5 minutes back I showed you where it is. Just check it out. It's there exclusively for KVPY and the generic formula sessions as well. Now I know that for a point source, it's clearly mentioned, for a point source, the intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So hence I2 by I1 will be R1 by R2 whole square. L2 is louder, so intensity is louder. So I2 corresponds to the closer distance. So I should not take this as R2. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. So I'll just probably erase that. I will just call it as R. I do not know that. So let's try and do this now. So I2 by I1 is nothing but 10 square. Now what is R1? R1 is when the intensity, check this out, I1 is for lower intensity, I2 is for louder. This is louder, this is lower, smaller intensity. So think about it, 2 corresponds to louder, that means when you're closer. So R1 will be nothing but your greater distance, R2 will be your closer distance. This is when you are close and this is when you are far away. When you are close, the distance is 1 meter, and when you are far, the distance is nothing but R, which I do not know. Squares are there on both sides, so say take square roots, so it is just going to become 10 meters. I hope that makes sense. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So what I've done is, in the end, I've just replaced that variable because I realized that 40 is louder, and you can see that right over here. This is louder. This is not so loud. This is faint. this is faint sound. So the faint sound should always correspond to the farther distance. This louder sound should be the one which is near to the closer distance. So that's why over here 2 corresponds to louder, corresponds to close, like you can see, and 1 corresponds to far because it is going to be faint. I hope this is clear. Shailaja, is it? So how was it for you? Don't worry about others. How was it for you? That is very important. Will KVPY question papers be helpful for NEET? Definitely. Okay, so shall we go ahead to the next one coming up on your screen? Let's do this. Yes, 10 meters is the answer. Okay. Tharak, what did you fail to write? So that is bad, right? If you did not read any textbook. You should read textbook, you should solve problems, you should solve mock tests. I had given you. Kalyan, join in, you have missed some 4 to 5 questions, but it's okay. Watch the session live, that will be better. Now, water flows steadily through a horizontal pipe of a variable cross section. The pressure of the water at a point is something. What is the pressure at another point where the speed is something, and rho be the density of water. Alright, let's do this. First of all, you should realize this is based on your Bernoulli's principle. And according to Bernoulli's principle, pressure plus half rho V square plus rho GH is a constant. Over here in the question, it's clearly mentioned it is horizontal. If it is horizontal, that means this term is the same at both the cross sections. It's same at both the cross sections. Now, what you should do is, next thing, substitute all the values. If the pressure of the water at some point is P when the flow is V, so P plus half rho V square. Don't bother about rho GH because anyways it will get cancelled. Do you guys get it? Yep, it is not needed at all. Is equal to the new point pressure P1 plus half rho, look at that, another point the speed is 2 times of V, so just put 2V over here. So P1 will be P plus half rho V square. Bring this guy over there, minus 2 square is 4, so 4 by 2 rho V square. So this is therefore equal to P, and rho V square minus 4 rho V square is minus 3 rho V square divided by 2. Do I have such an option? Yes, I have it right over here. Very good, Shreya. Very good, Sushruta. All right, amazing. Based on simple Bernoulli's principle, sometimes they can, not give you directly, but maybe they give you the area of the cross section. They can just tell you that the area of the cross section becomes half. Here it was A, here it is A by 2. So here if it was V, naturally it is V by 2. So at this point the pressure is P. So at this point, what is the pressure P1? So that's what they can ask you. Okay? Tharak, basically bacha, I'm not sure. After seeing question paper, I failed to write. That means you have not practiced enough. That's the clear meaning of it. Just attending my classes is of no use. Let me tell you, attending not just any teacher's classes is of no use. You have to always practice. So if you have not practiced, that is where you have failed. So please practice for the next few exams. Nandeshwara, I just told you that KVPY paper will be helpful for NEET. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Sir, won't it become 2V? Oh, did I not write 2V? Oh, sorry. My bad. Thank you. I wrote V by 2 by mistake. My bad. Sorry. Over here, this should have been, yeah, this will be 2V. Yeah, thank you. But it is given rho. Yes, rho is given. Yes. So rho I have put it over here because I need the density in this equation, definitely. All right, cool. Thank you, Shreya, for pointing out that mistake. Let's do the next question. Wow, what is this question? The EMF is given by E is equal to alpha t plus beta t square by 2, where alpha, oh my god, I think it has all jumbled up. I'll just probably write it over here. I can see alpha is 10 microvolt per degree centigrade and beta is minus 1 by 20 microvolt per degree centigrade square, something like that. And this is the graph given. This is the EMF, this is the temperature. And you can see it's a nice curve. This point is called as the neutral. This is called as the inversion. What is this graph for? This is for a thermocouple. Do we need to study thermocouple? No. This is not even a question on that. It's a question on whether you can understand this question mathematically. That's all. Can you relate physics, the graphs and the mathematics that you have learned? That's what it is. So don't worry, I have written down the value of alpha for some of you who are not able to see it. Okay, so let's start doing this question. First of all, they are asking you what is the neutral temperature. If you see, the neutral temperature is right over here. Neutral temperature is right over here, and at this point you can see that the slope is 0. So one way to find that is by equating the slope to 0. Yes, it is very similar to projectile motion, correcto. At this point, neutral temperature, you can see that the slope is 0, number 1. And at the second point, which is the temperature of inversion, which is this point over here, if you notice the EMF, this is the EMF is 0. Not just that, can you tell me the shape of this graph? Come on, quickly tell me the shape of this graph. I know because the slope is 0, so dE by dt is going to be 0. Some of you might be interested in the derivatives. Okay, slope kya hai? How to find slope? Because if you draw a tangent, obviously this is the maxima point. This is the maxima. So at the maxima, slope is always going to be 0. That's a standard thing. Minima, maxima. Obviously, if you draw a tangent, it's parallel. Okay, obviously it's a parabola. Why is it a parabola? How did you decide it's a parabola? Is it just because it is like this or something else? What made you decide? Very good, Sri Krishnan. You can see it is a quadratic equation right over here. This is nothing but a quadratic equation. And if this is a quadratic equation, obviously it has to be a parabola. Now it is very simple. Just figure this out. Inversion temperature, that is the easier part. So for inversion temperature, E is equal to 0. That means 0 is equal to alpha T plus beta T square by 2. T cancels, so 0 is equal to alpha plus beta T by 2. So minus alpha is equal to beta T by 2. So therefore T is equal to minus 2 alpha by beta, which is minus 2 times alpha. Alpha is 10. Units are similar, so no need to convert. Beta is nothing but minus 1 by 20. This goes on the top. Just check this out. Correct, guys? So 2 2s are 4. So is it going to be 400 degrees Celsius? Just check this out. Is this 400 degrees Celsius? Now 400 degrees Celsius is only there in this option. That's it. You're going to mark A. But if there were two options with 400 degrees Celsius, don't go with this, because the second part is 400. The first part is for the neutral temperature. It's very simple, and we know it's a property of the quadratic equation and any parabola. This point, the neutral temperature will be exactly half of the inversion temperature, because that's how it works for a parabola. Minus b by a minus b by 2a. That's how the coordinates are. So hence it will be half of 400 degrees Celsius, which is 200 degrees Celsius. So you can see this option is definitely matching. Got it? Yes. Yeah, it's half. Very good, very good. So some of you probably did not realize that, so I make it very explicit. So guys, whenever I teach, I think of the most average student, and everybody should understand. Okay, so I'm very happy that you guys are able to understand the concepts and putting it up in the chat box for everybody's benefit. Keep it up. I feel very happy, and I get to know who are able to think about this and how you are thinking is also. I'm very proud, guys. You guys are thinking this way. Very good. Is it possible to improve by 80 marks in JEE Mains by first attempt? I'm currently getting around 130. My goal is 210. 80 marks by first attempt, that's a lot. Maybe 50-60 marks is easy. Maybe by second attempt, yes, you can, even more than that. Okay, because there is hardly 1 month for the JEE Mains exam. So 80 is a huge number, guys, user especially. Next question. Okay, let's figure this out. Let me just wipe my specs. I'm not able to see. It's not actually my specs. What is the question? An ice cube floats on water in a beaker with 9/10 of its volume submerged under water. What is the fraction of its volume that will be submerged if the beaker of water is taken to the moon, where the gravity is 1/6 that of the earth? Come on, figure this out. Okay, some of you are saying A is the answer. Sri Krishnan Dhruv. Nobody knows, Tarak, which attempt will be tough. You just have to prepare for the worst. 3 stars. Thank you, Bacha. Alright, so let's do this. Now, for this, I'll give you one example. You know icebergs, when in water, 90% is inside, 10% is outside. And you know what this means? The density of ice actually is 900, and density of water we know is 1000. So this also tells me that if I see percentage wise how much is submerged, the fraction submerged, in this case it is 1/9, okay, sorry, not 1/9, 9/10, 9/10 is submerged. So the fraction submerged is basically the density of ice upon the density of water. In this case, it is basically 9/10. 9/10 is submerged. So this is not just true over here, but it is always true for any other solid. In fact, it is the density of the solid upon the density of the liquid. It has got nothing to do with the gravity. G has no role to play. So G independent. So that is the catch. So it does not matter whether it is moon, earth, Jupiter, it's going to be the same thing. So hence the answer will be 9/10 only. Option A, correcto. All right. Shivam Chahal, tell me some tips before the exam. Okay, I'll tell you probably towards the end, not now, towards the end. Now we are doing some questions, so let's just continue with that flow. Okay, let's do this next question coming up on your screen. All right, successfully finished. Yes, now we have to successfully conquer JEE and NEET. A diatomic ideal gas is used in a Carnot engine as the working substance. If during the adiabatic expansion of the cycle, the volume of the gas is given to increase from V to 32 times V, what is the efficiency of the engine? Now, if you go numerically to solve the question, it's going to be very lengthy. I have a feeling that we can solve this in a much easier way. And very good, guys, some of you answered it correctly. And wait for the final motivation before your exams. Don't worry, towards the end I'm going to give it. Now, I feel that we should draw the graphical way of how the pressure and the volume varies in a Carnot engine. And if you recollect, it goes something like this, maybe like this and like this, correct? This is how it is. These are the main points over here. This is a cyclic process, and that too clockwise because it is an engine. For refrigerator, it is exactly opposite. Now let me show you some critical points over here. If you extend this lower line, actually, it will go like this and maybe like this. This is basically the colder temperature. If you extend this line like this, it becomes a curve. It's an isotherm. This is also an isotherm. This is above, so it is a hotter temperature. This is hot, this is cold, and this is basically an isotherm. Isothermal process will happen here and here. Naturally, the other two are adiabatic, and it is clearly mentioned in the question that the volume of the gas increases from here to here in expansion process, and that too adiabatic. So if you notice, here to here it is volume decrease, so contraction. Here to here this is adiabatic and it is expanding. So naturally this point should have volume V, correct, this point, and this point should have 32 times of V. Everybody understood this? Everybody understood how we got this question or how we mark the points? Marking these points are the first step of the problem. Now you will see how easy the problem is. Adiabatic. So for adiabatic expansion, we know that, what is it? Temperature and volume. So TV raised to gamma minus 1 is constant. Not just that, it is diatomic, So gamma shall be 7 by 5. So it's 7 by 5. Therefore, TV raised to 7 by 5 minus 1 is constant. That means TV raised to 7 by 5 minus 1 is 2 by 5 is basically constant. Therefore, T hot temperature is here into V raised to 2 by 5 is equal to T cold. T cold is here. Here the volume is 32 times of V raised to 2 by 5. VV gets cancelled. Therefore, TC by TH will be, TH is taken down, VV gets cancelled, 32 comes below. So 1 by 32 raised to 2 by 5. This is nothing but 32, fifth root is 2. 2 raised to 5 is 32. So that's why it will be 2 raised to 2, which is just 1 by 4. The reason why I did this is because I wanted to find the relation between the temperatures. Because I know that the efficiency formula is 1 by T cold by TH. So just have to substitute TC by TH, which is 1 by 4, which is 3 by 4. Of course, it's 0.75. Yes, it is that. Alright, that's all. Yeah, TV raised to gamma minus 1 is K. But you should know why you have to use it. See, I cannot directly start writing it unless I realize that, oh, it's an adiabatic process to find the relationship. Without the graphical part, without these analysis, I cannot even think about this. How will I even think? Oh, adiabatic expansion. How do I know whether it is TC and TH? So that's the reason for that. Okay. So, no, Dhruv Pawar, efficiency of a Carnot engine cannot be more than hypothetical limit is infinity. Hypothetical limit, because you can make the colder temperature as cold as possible, hotter temperature as hot as possible. Okay, Akshay, jab tak hai jaan, meaning as many questions as needed. So I'm guessing, I don't know, I have noted down some 20 questions or so, I guess, around that. So we'll try to finish those questions. Don't worry about that, but we are doing all those questions which are very important. This is from which chapter? This is from the chapter of laws of thermodynamics. There is a topic called as heat engines and refrigerator. Carnot engines efficiency is the highest among all the engines available. Okay, next question coming up on your screen. Wow, this question, so many students make a blunder. I'll tell you that. A particle is moving in a circle of radius r under this force, which is directed towards the center. The mechanical energy, which is the sum obviously, is how much? The mechanical energy is asked. Let's start drawing the diagram first. So there is a particle, let's say like this, which is going in a circular path, let's say like this, and it has some velocity. This is the mass, and let's say this is the radius. This is the center of the circle. Now it is given in the question that there is a force which is acting towards the center. So the magnitude of that force will be like this. So the question is, what is the total energy? Now tell me one thing, can I not just find the kinetic energy or the potential energy, and I know how the total energy is related? Remember, in atomic structure or even in satellites, we have seen this. The kinetic energy is the negative of total energy, correct? Kinetic energy is the negative of total energy, and potential energy is twice of the total energy. Yes or no? Have you read that? Yeah. So let's just try to find one of them and see what happens. Let's just try. This is going to be very interesting. Pay close attention, guys. It's going to be very interesting now. So force is mass into centripetal acceleration, because it's accelerating towards the center when it goes in a uniform circular motion. Force is given by that, which is alpha r square, and acceleration is v square by r, of course. So naturally mv square will be alpha r cube. Now kinetic energy is half mv square, so it will be half mv square is alpha r cube, so alpha r cube. So I found the kinetic energy, so I think I can find the mechanical energy. So mechanical energy will be negative of kinetic energy. Oh, but wait a minute, there is no such option. Negative answer is not even there. So then you will start wondering, have I done something wrong? But the answer is, the concept of kinetic energy being negative of total energy and the potential energy being twice of the total energy is only applicable when it's an inverse square law for the force. Meaning the force should be something divided by r square. Otherwise it is not valid. So this is the conceptual mistake. Now you just figured out kinetic, you do not know the potential. You cannot just say this is the answer because you need to find out the potential energy as well. Now for the potential energy, I will use this formula. Du is equal to minus F dr. This is the formula. And over here, if you notice, the force and the position vector is r. It is exactly opposite to the force vector. R is radially out, force is attractive. So the dot product of them will be also negative. So I'm writing the magnitudes now. I'm just writing the magnitudes. So it is just going to become F dr is equal to du. Now it is a good time that we start integration. So I'll put integral symbol on both sides and let's see what happens. So integral du is integral f is alpha, r square will come inside, dr will come here. Limits, I can take help of this information over here. 0, 0, r. Lot of students make a mistake in the minus sign. They get a completely wrong answer if you skip the minus sign. Trust me on that. Okay. Now this is nothing but u minus 0 is equal to alpha, and you have r cube by 3 minus 0. So u is equal to alpha r cube by 3. That's it. Now hence the final energy, the total mechanical energy, which is K plus U, will be alpha r cube by 3 plus alpha r cube by 2. That's all. Alpha r cube by 3 plus alpha r cube by 2. So that's it. That's going to be 5 alpha r cube by 6. Is that option there? Yep, that is option B. Done, done. Yeah, if you miss both the minus, so Dhruv, that's what you should always do. 2 mistakes, never do 1 mistake. Whenever you do 1 mistake, odd number of mistakes, that's a problem. That's the rule of science. Always do 2 mistakes. Even mistakes are fine. Odd mistakes are odd, they are going to be noticeable. Okay, let's do the next question coming up on your screen. Option B is correct. What a brilliant question, and it has also told you the and cleared one misconception about when kinetic is negative of total and when is potential double of the total. It's not always. Let's do the next question. Oh, even your teacher says that. Very good. I'm so happy. Your teacher has the same thoughts like me. 2 soap bubbles of different size are formed at the 2 ends of a tube as shown. If the stopcock is open, that means you open the wall, then which bulb will shrink? Both will expand, both will shrink. Bigger bubble shrinks, smaller bubble expands. Smaller bubble shrinks, bigger bubble expands. Hi James Bug, welcome. Figure this out. Very interesting question. This has also come in JEE, by the way. This is a very interesting concept based on the surface tension. Akshay Kadam says option A. Figure this out. A long time back maybe. Hi Sandeep Jat. Anya Seth, you're not very well prepared. How can I perform in 1 day? Anya, in the last few days saw lots of mock tests. In fact, on this channel also it is there. Also in the description box also I have put some links where you can solve lots of mock tests in the days in this today, tomorrow. Okay, that's all. Nothing more can be done. And from whatever mistakes you have learned now, please prepare well for JEE and NEET, because we cannot give the same excuse for JEE and NEET. Keep this in mind. Now, inside pressure, excess pressure, excess pressure is given by 4S by R. That means the one which has less radius has more pressure inside, has more excess pressure. Pressure inside a bubble is always more than the outside pressure by 4S by R. Now this is smaller. Obviously this is high pressure. This has more radius, so this is low pressure. Where does air flow from? Air always flows from high pressure to a lower pressure area. This is high, this is low. So it will definitely flow over here. That means this will shrink and this will expand, which is option, I guess, A. Yes, it is. So what does this tell you? Rich becomes richer, poor becomes poorer. The hard truth about life, isn't it? Science is also telling us the same thing. Rich becomes richer, poor becomes poorer. What a wonderful question, isn't it? Completely capitalism. And a lot of people favor capitalism. Capitalism is good, capitalism is bad. There is one wonderful movie on capitalism. It is called oh my god, whenever you want to think about a movie, that's the exact moment when you forget. Oh, The Platform. Yes, it's called as The Platform. You should definitely watch that English movie called as The Platform. It's got a very nice hidden deep meaning. So I'll just give you the gist, I'm not giving you spoilers, don't worry. So it's basically so many people are trapped suddenly in one big apartment. It's a very mysterious apartment, and there is one floor which comes down from the top to bottom, which contains food, and you just happen to be on some floor, and from that platform all the food is kept. So whatever food you eat, and whatever is left over, the platform goes down. Then the next floor people can eat from the same platform. Then whatever is left over, that goes down to the platform below, and whatever, it just keeps on going down. So basically the people on the top get the privilege of eating a lot of food, and as the platform comes down, the people below can hardly savor the good food. It's a very interesting, that was very disgusting, but it has a very good hidden meaning in that movie. It's all about the capitalism and all the society that we live in. You should definitely check it out. I loved that movie. Yes, there was, but I leave that part apart. You will see that you will see the hidden meaning of it. Oh my god, you made me remember about the Russian Revolution. Yes, Stalin and so much more. Yeah, why not? All right, let's talk about the next question now. I would love to discuss with all of you maybe someday the geopolitics and all the current affairs. It's a very interesting thing apart from the PCMB that you guys learn. So you should not just be focused on your PCMB, that's a part of your life, but you should also be well aware of economics, current affairs, your politics, everything, arts, culture, everything. No problem. Maybe you can wait till you are 18 and then you can watch it. What do you think? The physics paper was moderate. The CBSE paper was moderate. Yeah. For a particle executing simple harmonic motion, which of the following statement is not correct? The total energy of the particle always remains the same. The restoring force of all always directed towards a fixed point. The restoring force is maximum at the extreme positions. The acceleration of the particle is maximum at the equilibrium position. Which of the following statement is not correct? Come on, this is a simple one. Akshay saying A, somebody saying D. This is for NEET as well as JEE, bacha. These kind of questions are a little bit tougher than NEET, obviously, whatever I'm doing today, because it's obviously KVPY. But you can expect these questions for SB. You're going to give SB. Option D is correct. Perfect. I'm proud of all my warriors out here. Excellent. A. Total energy obviously remains the same. Remember, the question asked is not correct, incorrect. So this is correct. Restoring force, yes. When it performs SHM, restoring force is always directed towards a fixed point. Restoring force is maximum at the extreme. Yes, it is maximum here because the spring gets extended or compressed the most. This is also correct. Acceleration is maximum at the equilibrium position. No, it is not maximum. It is in fact going to be 0. Acceleration is maximum at the extreme positions. That's how it works. Moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. All right, come on guys. So we have two identical glass bulbs are interconnected. So these are the two glass bulbs interconnected. A gas is filled inside the bulbs at NTP. That's 273. If one of the bulbs is placed on ice and the other bulb is placed on ice, if one of the bulb is placed on ice and the another bulb, I think there is a repetition of the statement. Okay, just ignore this part. And the other bulb is placed on hot bath, then the pressure of the gas becomes 1.5 times what is the temperature of the hot bath. Okay, let's try and understand the question. First of all, initially this was completely outside, keep that in mind. So initially you should think of those two bulbs completely outside. Okay, nothing was there. This was at 273 Kelvin and let's say 1 atm pressure. Now let's say this volume was V, this is also going to be V. So the gas which is there is mainly going to be in the bulbs, not in the connecting pipe over there. So there is some moles of the gas, correct? Pressure is also same, temperature is also same, volume is also same. The gas is equally distributed in both the things. Now, okay. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Oh, sorry. Not 1 atm, my bad, sorry. Don't worry about it. Even if I don't take it as 1 atm, I think I can still solve the problem. So basically assume that the pressure is P, it's equal, because I know that it has just become 1.5 times, so eventually it is going to get cancelled. Now, the point over here is that when you take this and dip it over here, one temperature is ice, that means 0 degrees Celsius. This one is hot bath, that means it is going to be heated up. The pressures might change, temperature will change, so the gas will move around somewhere. So I'll just assume that the final temperature is T and the new pressure obviously it is 1.5 P because it is clearly mentioned. Here also it is 1.5 P. Volume is still the same, but the moles of the gas will be different. Total moles will be same. If it is N1 moles here, N2 moles here, I know for a fact that N1 plus N2 will be equal to the initial moles, and that will be N plus N. If there are N moles here and N moles here, it will be just 2N. Is that making sense? Is that making sense, everyone? Ashirwad is always there, Kalyani, don't worry. So the number of moles has to be conserved because the molecules will flow from one bulb to the other bulb. That's it. Now, let's make use of the gas law also, because we know PV is equal to nRT. So N will be equal to PV divided by RT. N is nothing but PV divided by RT. So let's use that over here. N1 is this pressure into volume divided by RT. Okay, so let's write it. Pressure is 1.5 P, volume is V, divided by R. Temperature, this is ice, so this is 0 degrees Celsius, so 273 Kelvin, of course. Yeah, it's ice, so 273 Kelvin. So I'll just put 273 over here, plus N2. So the number of moles here will be pressure over there, which is again 1.5 P into volume divided by R into the temperature, which I do not know, is equal to N plus N is 2N. So what is N? N is nothing but just initial pressure, initial volume by R into initial temperature, which is again 273. Okay, a lot of things are going to get cancelled. PV, RRR. So wow, RRR reminds me of a movie, rings a bell. So is equal to now 1.5 I have taken outside, 1 by 273 is there, plus 1 by T is also there, and 2 by 273 is also here. Now 1.5 goes there, so therefore I'll get 1 by 273 plus 1 by T is equal to, so this is 3 by 2, so it will become 4 by 3 into 273. So therefore 1 by T is equal to 1 by 273, 4 by 3, this is minus 1. So this will be 1 by 273, 4 by 3 minus 1 is nothing but 1 by 3. So that shall become T is equal to 3 times of 273, which is 9. 3 3s are 9, 3 centuries are 21, 2 carried over, 8, 3 2s are 6, yes, 819. Just check this out. Just check this out. Is it D or something? Yes. Okay. Okay. Creativity of knowledge. Welcome. Hello, bacha. Okay, let's do the next question coming up on your screen. Okay, what is this? In a certain region of space, the potential field depends on xy coordinates. Minus x square plus y square. The corresponding electric fields in that plane correctly is represented by. Just check this out now. First of all, this equation should ring a bell in your head. V is minus x square plus y square, so I can write it as y square minus x square. So if I actually draw this, what will it look like? This is y-axis, this is x-axis. This is nothing but a hyperbola, but not your regular hyperbola with the axis as the x-axis. The axis will be your y-axis. So think about it. This will be a hyperbola like this. Check this out. See if you guys make sense out of it. Let me draw it a little bit better. See if you guys are able to understand it. This is your hyperbola, something like this. In fact, you can think of many such hyperbolas which are equipotential. So these are your equipotential lines. These are your equipotential lines. Now, what you should think is, since we have to draw the electric field, and electric field is always perpendicular to the equipotential lines, just think of a perpendicular curve to these ones. So I think it will look like this, it will look like this, it will look like this, and maybe like this, like this, like this, and like this. These are your electric field lines. Everywhere they should be perpendicular. So do I have such an option? Yes, option B, I guess. Look at this, option B. Can you see the blue lines? Just look at the blue lines, that's all. Everywhere it has to be perpendicular. Okay, that's how it is. Shreyas, how to remember what we read? Revise at regular intervals, write it, practice it, use it. If you don't revise, if you don't use it, and if you don't write it, make use of that formula and write it down and see it every day, then you will not remember it. As simple as that. Can we do it mathematically? Well, if you had to do it mathematically, yes, you can do it. You can differentiate this and you can get electric field is minus dV by dx I cap minus dV by dy j cap, and then you will get an equation in x and y, and you will see that as the x and y coordinates change, it will change, but it will be a little bit difficult to analyze, I guess. Yeah, but you can do it that way. You can analyze the electric field equation in x-axis and y-axis, how it is changing, that's all. Okay, move on. Let's move to the next question. The resistance of a wire is R. It is bent in the middle by 180 degree so that the both ends twist together to make a shorter wire. What is the new resistance? Let's try to do this. So we have a wire. Okay, this has some length L, area A. The resistance will be given by rho L divided by A. Now what is done is you bend the wire and make it into a shorter wire, something like this. This is what you have done. So now this becomes the area of cross section, which is not A but 2A, and the length will be L by 2. That's all. You have bent it. That's all. So area has doubled, length has become half. So the new resistance R1 will be rho length by 2A, which is 1/4 rho L by A. Rho L by A from here is nothing but resistance, so R by 4. That's the answer. R by 4, option C. Yes, it is. That's all. Looks tricky, but it is simple, not that great. Yeah, very good Kunal, very good Sashmita, very good Gosdar, excellent A.S. Bhattacharya, very good warriors. Moving on to the next one. In the Rutherford's experiments, alpha particles are scattered from a nucleus as shown. This is nucleus, these are the alpha particles paths. Out of the 4 paths, one of the path is not correct. It is not possible according to, the diagram. Think about it. Which is that option which is not possible? Do I mean read it once again? Not just once, many times. And not just read, see again and again, write again and again, use it also. Just writing it is also of no use. Like if you want to learn a new language, you cannot just see a video on it. You have to speak it, you have to see it, you have to hear it, you have to write it. That's when you learn the language. Okay? Same way it works for any other art or skill. You want to learn music, you cannot just listen to music. You have to play the music, you have to understand it, you have to use it, you have to compose your tunes. Then you understand music and play songs. Well, B, yes, 180-degree deflection possible. This deflects away, D also deflects away. This is getting attracted. How can this get attracted? Because nucleus is positive, this is positive. It is not possible. Hence, option C is definitely wrong. Yes, option C it is. Perfect. Understood? Attraction is not possible. No, A is possible, bacha. A, it is repelling. See this? This is repel. Repel, obviously, positive will repel. This is also repel. Obviously, it deviates by a small angle. This is head on, so it will stop at the closest distance of approach and make a U-turn. Hence, it is option C. Moving on to the next question. Wow, based on semiconductors, the current through an ideal PN junction is shown in the circuit. 1 volt, 100 ohm, 2 volt. This is an ideal diode. What do you think is the current through this circuit? Figure this out. 0, 1, 10, 30 milliamperes. Come on, figure this out. What should be the answer? It is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 2, high-low PN reverse bias. That's it. How will it conduct? There will be no current at all, so hence 0 is the answer. But example, if this diode was exactly opposite, then what will be the answer? Then you have to think of it this way, okay? Like this is the resistor, this point is 2 volt and this point is 1 volt, this is 100 ohm, this is 100 ohm and there is no voltage difference here, so that's it. So this is 0 volts, whatever current flow will be voltage difference divided by resistance. Voltage difference is 2 minus 1, resistance is 100, so it will be 1 by 100 amperes. Or you can say 0.1 amperes. No, sorry, 0.01 amperes. Okay? I hope you guys get it. If it was like this, this would be forward bias. This would be forward bias. So they have kept that kind of option also, which will be 10 milliamperes, obviously then. But this is reverse bias, so no conduction at all. Alright, 0 is the answer. Wow, we have a brilliant question on capacitors now. A capacitor is charged to V volts. The space between the plates is filled with a medium of constant K and conductivity sigma. The time after which the charge on the capacitor becomes 1 by E times of the original charge. Now the moment I see this, I realize that this is a question based on discharging of a capacitor. Discharging of a capacitor. So let's try to see what our capacitor actually looks like. So we have a capacitor parallel plate and it is filled with a dielectric medium of K. There is some distance between the plates D and the area of the plate is A. That medium itself has some conductivity. That means the resistivity is also known to me. If resistivity is there, that means it also has some resistance. And the resistance, which is rho L by A, this rho is 1 by sigma, so it will be L. L over here is the distance. Area is as it is. Rho is 1 by sigma, so put sigma over here. So there is some resistance when the current flows within the dielectric slab. So really understand this question now. The slab over here itself is acting like the resistor. Yes, the resistance is inside the capacitance, Ashwin, correct. So this is the resistance, and the length of the resistance is the distance between the plates, because current flows like this, right? Current will flow like this. So when the current flows like this, obviously this is the length, this is the area of the cross section. Did you guys get it? Okay. Now this is like your capacitor and resistor circuit, RC circuit. So for the charge to become 1 by E times, when does the charge become 1 by E times? 1 by E is basically 0.37, and that happens after a time is your time constant. Recollect this graph in case you have forgotten. It becomes 37% only is remaining from your original charge. This is charge versus time. Charge versus time, which is 37% remains after the time constant. Do you remember? From RC circuits, discharging of a capacitor, and the time constant is R times of C. Now you just need to substitute the value of R, which you just got over here, which is D by A sigma. That's the conductivity. And the last thing is the capacitance. What shall be the capacitance? Think about it. Capacitance is epsilon naught. Permittivity is also going to be different because dielectric medium is there. Epsilon naught K into area divided by D as it is. So now solve the question, you shall get the answer. dt goes, A goes, so epsilon naught K by sigma, I guess. Just check this out. Is it there? Epsilon naught K by sigma, which is option A. Yes, that's the answer. Beautiful question on multiple levels. Number one, to understand, yes, it is a discharging circuit. Number two, to realize that the value of 1 by is a special value. 1 by E is a constant whose value you should know, which is 0.37, which is 37%. So a discharging circuit becomes 37% after one time constant. And time constant is RC. That means I need to know the resistance and the capacitance. Capacitance I know, epsilon naught A by D, K times. Resistance, the dielectric itself is the resistance. So using current electricity knowledge to find the resistance, rho L by A. Last concept, conductivity converted into resistivity, or resistivity converted into conductivity. What a brilliant question. What's the difference between the YouTube classes and the paid classes? So in YouTube classes, it's like a free class. Anybody can come, anybody can go. There is no system, right? It's not like I'll be doing KVPY every day at 2 p.m. or every day at 3 p.m. I'll be taking care of so many batches. Number two, there will be no test series on YouTube, right? Nobody can give test series, because how will you evaluate? How will you compare? How will you make sure everybody gives it at the same time? Assignments. Even if we give you assignments, how do we ensure that you're doing it? How do you know that you're doing it correctly? How do you get to know the correct solution? You can just download the solution, but again, how do you know whether it's actually correct? Whom do you ask the doubts? So doubt solving. Number four, live classes. You always are more interactive and you feel like attending. If it's a recorded thing, you'll be like, okay, I'll watch it other day. So always that mental block is there for recorded classes. And obviously, there is a beautiful mechanism which works in our platform, where we have a collection of lot of mentors, class teachers, master teachers, counselors who are in constant touch with the students. If any performance drops, increases, to motivate them, to put them into different batches, and to guide you what should be done at what time. So it's a systematic flow. So that's the reason why you join other platform classes. Moving on to the next one. Okay, it's SX, yes, definitely. Can we also use elimination method as per the actual formula? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can. Dimensions are involved. Let's try to do the next question. Tanuj Chandra, we have the foundation batch. Yes, that is called, not exactly, it's no institute will call it IIT batch. There are very few institutes who call it as the IIT batch. That's wrong to say or call it an IIT batch. So it is called as the foundation batch. So it builds the foundation. You're not just targeting IIT. A lot of people think IIT means it's an exam. IIT is not an exam, guys, to get into IIT. It's a skill set that you need to develop. It's not PCM. A lot of students saying, oh, I need to be good at physics, chemistry, maths. Many people are good, but cracking that exam is a whole big deal. You need to have visualization skills, you need to have manipulation skills, you need to have calculation skills, you need to have memory skills, you need to have exam temperament, you need to have that patience, you need to have that curiosity, you need to have that analyzing skills, you need to have that spontaneity. So these are the skill sets that you need to develop. Yeah, I know, Tanuj, what happens over there. So they start the coaching from 6th standard, and I had my cousin over there and he messed up his life. So it's very sad how, you know, students are forced to sit from morning till night as if PCM is IIT. Guys, PCM is not JEE, PCM is not NEET. Please understand that. Okay, it is just a way in which, you know, you can manifest your skills to get into IIT or NEET or whatever medical college. Understand, there is a whole bunch of skills that you need. So let's do this. Wow, what do we have? We have magnetic field and we have a square loop and it is moved with some velocity. So the question is, what is the EMF induced? So let's draw the loop and let's understand what is the catch in the question. This is a loop, this is length d, this is also length d. The catch is, since it is moving like this with some velocity v0 along the x-axis, magnetic field is a variable. It is not constant. If it is not constant, then the flux will continuously change, and that's why the EMF will not be zero. A lot of students are going to think it is going to be zero because the magnetic field, magnetic flux will be constant. But actually it is not constant because the field intensity will change. You can see, in fact, it varies with x. So here, if the field is weak, as you go more and more inside, you will see the field becomes more and more stronger. So the field becomes stronger as you go. So in this part and this part, there will be no EMF. Remember, only the perpendicular elements which move perpendicular to the magnetic field, you will see the EMF will be introduced are there. Only in that perpendicular elements. So this element and this element will have induced EMF. This will have E1, this will have E2. This part will induce EMF, let's say like this. This part will also create induced EMF like this. They both are going to oppose each other. BLV is the magnitude of the EMF. BLV here, they are a part of the same circuit. Remember, both the rods are moving like this. So both the EMFs will be in the same direction, hence they will oppose. Hence the net EMF will be the bigger one minus the smaller one. So I think E2 will be big, E1 will be small. Reason being the magnetic field is stronger here and here it is weaker. That's all. Thank you, Sanjay Sarde. Thank you so much. So E2 minus E1. So let's substitute the values. EMF is BLV. B will be different. L is your D, of course, into velocity minus B1, D and V0. So D times of V0. B2 minus B1. Magnetic field here and magnetic field here. Think about it again. If this point's coordinate is x, this point's coordinate will be how much? If this point's coordinate is x, how much will this point's coordinate be? It will be x plus d. So here, find out the magnetic field by putting x. Here, find out the magnetic field by putting x plus d. Yep. Abhirav, can I cover remaining topics in this mock test? Abhirav, you will understand where are you weak. Based on that, you cover up those topics. So let's substitute that. So magnetic field at the higher intense region. So just use this formula, B0 into 1 plus x plus d by, I think now the edge of the loop is, okay, that is different symbol A, okay, minus B1 will be again B0 into 1 plus x by A. That's it. That is what it is going to be. So let's see what do we get. This will be D times V0. B0 is common. So I'm just going to put B0 outside. Here I will get 1 plus x plus d by a minus 1 minus x by a. So this will be equal to d v naught b naught. 1 gets cancelled, x by a also gets cancelled. I will be just left with d by a. So it will be d square, d into d is d square, into v naught into b naught divided by a. Just check this out. Option D, yes it is option D. Concept was EMF is not zero because flux is changing. Why is the flux changing? Because magnetic field is becoming stronger. If it was uniform magnetic field, then both the B's will be same. B2 minus B1 will be 0. Hence option A would be correct. Okay, so that is a catch, because many students are usually used to that simple problem where it is moving completely inside the magnetic field which is uniform. So the answer is not 0. You have to take the difference of the magnetic fields and then do the question. What a brilliant question. Moving on to the next one. Yes Kunal, yes at S. Bhattacharya. We have a question on meter bridge. You have an unknown resistance, a standard resistance, a meter wire, galvanometer. You are touching it at different points and you get null deflection. But in this question, I think end corrections are also mentioned. And when you put it at 52 centimeters, then you get, I think, the null point. All right, let's try to write all these pieces of information. This is 52 centimeters. But here, the end correction is also mentioned, which is 1 centimeter. And this is 48 because 100 minus 52 is obviously 48. That's how I get this. And at point B, the end correction is 2 centimeters. Now, whenever you have end correction, always try to remember these lengths are given to get the effective length. So, technically, what will happen is the effective length over here, the effective length over here will be 52 plus 1, which is 53 centimeters, and the effective length over here will be 48 plus 2, which is 50 centimeters. That is the first step. Whenever end correction is given, just add those centimeters at the respective lengths. Now, what is the next question? Sorry, the next part. For null point, it is like a wheatstone. It's like a wheatstone balanced bridge. And like a wheatstone's balanced bridge, you just solve the question. This distance, okay, 53 by that distance, which is 50, will be this by that. This by this is this by that. That's all. So it will be x divided by 10. So x will be 0, 0 cancels. 53 divided by 5. So that shall be 10 times and 6 times. 10.6 ohms. Just check this out, guys. Is it? Yes, 10.6 ohms. That's the answer. Done, done, done. Tanuj, for NTSC, it's of higher level. NTSC is much simpler than this. So simple problems are there in NTSC. Okay? So these are a little bit higher level because this is KVPY. Yes, Asmita, very good. Excellent. Come on, guys. Ready for the last few questions coming up on your screen? Be ready. Very beautiful questions. 1 kilowatt hour. Please tell. What should I tell? Is 120 marks good in MET? What is the total score, man, in that? CBSE told 2080 rule for term 1 and term 2. Is it? I'm not sure. I need to check that, Ankit. Where's the case? And my God. Is KVPY between mains and advanced? Is before mains and before advanced? Keshav. Is KVPY harder than JEE mains? Yes, it is. I don't know. So guys, I don't know whether CBSE has told such anything, but I'll just confirm that. I don't like to. Acha. The level? Oh, okay. Keshav. Oh my God. I was thinking about the timeline. Oh my bad. Sorry. So yes, KVPY is in between JEE mains and JEE advanced level. Yes, it is. Thank you, Kunal, so much. Please let me know if I have some film offers. Just don't call me handsome. If I have some film offers, please let me know. If you have some connections in the Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, I don't know, industry. Okay, so let's do this. The question is on the lateral shift. This is your shift, this is your thickness, correct? This has some refractive index mu. Yes sir, है आपके लिए क्या बात है कुणाल बता दो फिर. So delta x is equal to t into, the formula goes like this, t into sine of I minus r by cos of r. I is the angle of incidence, r is the angle of refraction inside it. So generally S. Bhattacharya above 55 or 60 is considered to be good marks. Now let's solve this. According to the question, the lateral shift per unit thickness, lateral shift per unit thickness means that this is delta x by delta t is what is given, and this is sine of angle of incidence is 45 minus r by cos of r. Let's try and solve this question, see what happens. This is given to be 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 is equal to this divided by cos of r. I don't think I can find r so easily unless I expand it. So let's try and expand it, and I can see some answers in tan. So maybe something happens. So sine, this will be nothing but sine 45 into cos r. Sine a minus b is sine a cos b minus cos a sine b. So minus cos 45 into sine of r. So let's just cross multiply and see what happens. So cos of r will be root 3 times sine 45 is 1 by root 2. So root 3 by root 2 into cos of r minus root 3 times cos 45, again root 3 by root 2 into sine of r. I think I can take this guy there and take this guy here. So this will become root of 3 by 2 into sine of r is equal to cos of r into this minus this. So root 3 by 2 minus 1. Now sine by cos is tan, right? Sine by cos is tan. So take cos below. So it will become sine of r by cos of r will be root of 3 by 2 minus 1 by root of 3 by 2. Sine by cos is tan of r is equal to this by this is 1, and this goes on the top, so it will become root of 2 by 3. So do we have something? Why do I see some two options are same? Okay, I think there was a mistake in printing. I think this should have been plus. Okay, I can see B and C, both options are same, unless you guys are able to figure out the difference. Yeah, this should have been plus. Printing mistake, guys, ignore that. But yeah, the answer is tan inverse of 1 minus root of 2 by 3. यूपी बोर्ड का नोटिफिकेशन, आई एम नॉट श्योर. ओके जयंत, एक्चुअली क्या है कि बहुत ही कम लोग यूपी वाले यहाँ पर हैं. सो इफ वी हैव सम गुड अमाउंट ऑफ ऑडियंस from all the states, then we can start doing things respectively for all of you. Mechanics in one shot, Ranveer, coming in 0 to superhero series. Shreyas in, what are you saying, Alka? I'm not sure. Okay, let's do the next question. In an ideal YDSC setup, when a glass plate is kept in the path of one of the beams, then the intensity at one position where the central maximum occurred previously remains unchanged. The maximum thickness of the glass plate is. Dynamite series, I'll continue, Sri Krishna, don't worry. So let's try and do this. First of all, this is your YDSC. You keep something over here. This is your central maxima. This is where the bright fringe occurred. This is where the bright fringe occurred. The next bright fringe will be here, like this. This will be the next bright fringe over here, like this. If it is given that in spite of placing the glass slab, the intensity at the central maxima previously remains unchanged, it just means one thing, that this guy has shifted here. Exactly. So the shift happens to be equal to the fringe width. Because I know from here to here is one fringe width. So exactly one fringe width shifts. So you will see everything remains the same, but actually technically it has shifted up. You will not be able to see the difference so easily. Make sense? Okay. So what is the formula for beta is equal to the shift? Beta. What is the formula for beta, guys? Come on. What is the formula for beta? Come on. Beta, it is nothing but lambda d by d. And for the shift, it is nothing but d by this d. And you also have your thickness into mu minus 1. Okay, d cancels. And what do we want? We want the thickness. So thickness will be equal to lambda by mu minus 1. So lambda, I think answers are in lambda. Mu is 1.5, so 1.5 minus 1. So that's 0.5. Lambda by 0.5. So that's 2 on the top. So 2 lambda. That's the answer. Do we have it? Yep, we have it. Done, done, done. Great. Very good, guys. Excellent. Anisha from Tamil Nadu, I know a lot of students. Especially from the south zone, I can see a lot of students. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, even Sri Lanka also a lot of students are there. Kerala. So we need to get in a lot of more students from even Northeast. I have seen a lot of students. I keep analyzing the graphs, so I get to see from where you guys are attending. YouTube gives me that analytics. A lot of students from Northeast as well. But we need to ensure that even students who are studying in English medium, be it from North, be it from Central, be it from Western parts of the country, actually study in English medium. What's the funny part? Although that I have seen that many students study English in Hindi, which I kind of found very funny. I'm not sure I should be making the judgment, but it's kind of funny that you learn English in Hindi. Yeah, English as in like English, the English subject, which is there for CBSE or ICSE, is being taught in Hindi, which is very weird. I don't know, how can you do that? It's like learning French in English, or I don't know, learning Tamil in English. How can you do that? You have to learn Tamil in Tamil. You have to learn Kannada in Kannada. You have to learn Gujarati in Gujarati. That's very weird. So I don't know if that's the case. That's the same students who again after going to a good college, or I'm not saying it's bad. See, you learn, you get marks, but again after going to good college, then again you struggle. Oh my God, my communication skills are weak. Oh my God, I need to apply for foreign universities. Oh my God, I need to get into this company. Oh my God, I need to take part in the group discussion. Oh my God, I need to be good in communication skills. And that's where you start realizing that, oh my God, why did I not learn in the proper medium? Okay, so it's very important that you learn in the right language. Thank you so much. Derivatives, the derivation sessions and the sure session. Thank you, Sri Krishnan. Yeah, Ranveer, the language does not matter, but at some point it does matter. Trust me on that. At some point it does matter. Yeah. So even I used to be of the same feeling that only the core values matter. Yeah, it matters for most of the situations. Only for a few people, like, yeah, unless you are the prime minister of a country or you are a big scientist, then yeah, nobody gives, nobody cares, or nobody really bothers about what language you are speaking. But if you are in the business world, if you are in the your regular corporate world, or if you are in the social world, you need to know how to communicate, right? That's how it is. Yep. It's not just about the job, even for business, like which we can get in IIT. Sri Krishna, I didn't follow. All IITs will give a good job, bacha. Let's go to the next question. An energy of 24.6 electron volt is required to remove one of the electrons from a neutral helium atom. The energy in electron volt required to remove both the electrons from a neutral helium atom is. Yeah, it's okay, Ranveer. You can disagree with me. It's perfectly fine. That's how democracy is. We are perfectly entitled to have different thoughts. I would love to debate. Campus interviews. Sri Krishna, I mean, obviously the top IITs would be Delhi, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, Bombay. These have very good placements. But other IITs, the medium ones also have decent ones. Now the energy required is 24.6 to remove one of the electrons. What is the energy required to remove both the electrons? So understand this question. This is your helium nucleus. And in the first orbit, you have your 2 electrons. Option B says, Shashmita, are these questions of SX level? Keshav, I have kept both kinds of question, bacha. Okay, so let's try to do this. Now, according to the question, to remove one of the electron, you need 24.6 electron volt. When you remove that, what is remaining is only one electron inside that helium atom, and this is like your Bohr's atom. And remember, all the formulas that you have learned in Bohr's model are only for single electron model. In fact, if you remember, one of the disadvantages of Bohr's model, it even fails for helium or lithium because the other electrons, charges, the forces, the energies will definitely deviate the results and the answers. So it is only for a single electron model that we derive that formulas, because we ignore the repulsion of other electrons. So the energy of that electron in that helium atom is given by minus 13.6 divided by n square into z square. But to remove whatever energy is required will be the negative of that. So ignore that minus sign. So it will be 13.6 divided by n square and z square. Do you understand why the minus sign is not there? This is the actual energy of the electron. So it is at minus level. So it is at minus level. This is the 0 level. To take it out, you need to give it this much amount of energy. So the minus level to 0 level. Okay. Now for this guy, it is nothing but z is 2. So 2 square, n is nothing but 1. So 13.6 into 4. So this will be 4. And yes, just check this out. This will be 54.4 kya? Yeah, just check this out. Just check this out. Yep, guys, 54.4. Now, what is the catch? Is 54.4 in the answer? Oh no, it is not there. Now what to do? I will let you know about the applications, bacha. I'm preparing for essay. Hold on, best team. Now, read the question carefully. To remove both the electrons, already you know for the first electron you need this much. For the second electron you need this much. So just take these two and add 54.4 plus 24.6. 54.4 plus 24.6. What will you get? I think you should get something 0.0, which is 79.0, option A. So that is the catch. So this energy was for the first electron. It is different from this because you know, when you remove this electron will also affect the energies. Hence this energy is very different from this energy. So very interesting answer and very interesting question. Yeah, answer A is correct. Definitely. Very good, guys. What a beautiful question. So there we go. Yeah, it comes to an end, the session. Near electrons it's not about nearer electrons, it's all about in the same shell only. The problem is the other electron gets affected by the other electron. So removing the first electron was easier. Notice that. Removing the first electron was easier because the repulsion has shielded this electron from the charge of the nucleus. But to remove the only one electron, it's going to be difficult because it does not have a companion. The second electron has gone out, so it's going to be much more difficult to remove the second electron. Keep that in mind. So guys, remember the NEET crash course with 120 sessions, with doubts, with tests for all India rank comparisons and assignments and recordings, everything available, along with the JEE crash course with 90 sessions, right? with again doubt support, all India rank test series, and your recordings available till the last day, not 3rd July, till the last day, along with assignments, all at just 2,700 bucks. So go ahead, check out the link which is there in the description box. That will help you. I'll just show you. The course has started on 9th of May. Don't expect new batches, but that should not bother you or stop you from joining the crash course. Reason being, you know, the classes are so interactive. Even you can attend the quizzes and the hotspot even after the session is over. Even when you're watching the recording, right, you can still take part in the quiz. That's how our class is. It's not a recording like a video file. It's not a video file. Let me tell you that. And I really don't want to buy these kurtas. Thank you very much, Ritu Kumar, for this. And okay. Now what Impact Guru wants us to do something. And okay, I'm just going to skip this. Thank you very much. So go down to the description box out here. You have the KVPY crash course links as well. And the other crash course links I'll be putting up in other videos. Make sure you have joined the Telegram group and you can follow me on Instagram right over there. Okay. So I'm from Maharashtra board. We have electrostatics and modern physics in 11th, but in JEE it is taught in 12th. How to prepare? That's a common problem faced by all the Maharashtra state board students. There is no other option. One option, Mehul, is watch my lectures here on YouTube. It's there right on the playlist. Electrostatics playlist. It's there. Just watch it. Okay? You will understand everything. Is that okay, Mehul? Okay. Welcome, Khan. Welcome, Rahul. Thank you so much. Sir, I'm a big fan of you and Vedantu team. Thank you so much, Nandana Shiva Prasad SU. Means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you so much. Best team, I'm feeling very demotivated, sir, because here I'm on YouTube and almost everyone is scoring 75 plus, sir. I'm just scoring 60. Can I get KVPY? It depends. Best team, sometimes, you know, some really good students happen to come on the channel and maybe they are reading out their scores. But 60 is not bad. It just means that in the last 2 days, please give more mock tests and only focus on your weak points now. Only focus on your weak points. Don't just unnecessarily solve those questions which you know already or you're confident about, because you will never be satisfied otherwise. Yeah, 60 plus should be great. Okay, Mehul, don't they have prerequisites? Well, for electrostatics, if you want to watch, right? See, this is what I will tell you, Mehul. So if you're on the channel right now, I'll tell you what you should do. You should know vectors, Newton's laws, uniform circular motion. These are the three main things, and work power energy. Write it down: vectors, Newton's laws, circular motion, and work power energy. These are the main things. Fifth requirement is also there, but it's up to you. Some people like to do that or not. It depends. Gravitation. So go to the playlist and you will see where is this GA NEET classes 11th. So here in this playlist you can find all the 11th standard portions. Here you will find the 12th standard portions, and here I have also made a playlist of do this before studying 12th, do this before studying 12th, do this before studying 12th. So you can see these three sessions have been placed perfectly before the first lecture of electrostatics. So you can go through this if you want, and then you can start going through the electrostatics part. So many sessions on electrostatics and Gauss law. I'm pretty sure you'll understand it. Okay? Is that making sense? No problem, Dr. Alka, and please get more students tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, another final mock test before your KVPY final exam, of course. Up to what score can you improve? 5 to 10 marks. And if you're lucky enough, 15. Advantage in time. Math science, don't be confused that way. I mean, are you in 11th or 12th, first of all? So maths cannot be developed in one day. Maths takes a lot of time. It's like you cannot learn violin or drums in one day. You need to practice it for a long time. So don't worry about it now. Focus on your strengths. And if you're weak at maths or bio, then for the next exam, which is JEE NEET CUET, you have some time. Make sure you buckle up and practice every day regularly, especially maths. Practice it in the morning when you get up. Okay? Thank you, Khan Saab, means a lot. Okay, so yeah, bio takes less time, but you need to memorize a lot. Yeah. Thank you, best team. Bye bye, guys. Take care. Good night. Have a great time, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock, I guess. Yep, for the final KVPY mock test, and then we'll continue with your your 0 to superhero series as well. Bye bye. Have a great time. Hasta la vista. This was Shreyas here.